Carvana is up over 10% right now in reaction to news that their CEO, Ernest Garcia, bought $116 million worth of stock. So obviously a massive buy from their CEO definitely shows some confidence, right? If those employees, those people who know the most about a company's operations, like their CEO, is buying shares of the stock, it really just sends a massive buy signal to Wall Street and retail investors. So this is a great sign for the stock, and it definitely shows that the internals of the company aren't scary, right? Because their CEO wouldn't be buying the stock if they were. So with that being said, though, what I'll do in this video is I'll go into the chart and I'll give a price prediction for the stock, and then I'll dive into some short interest data for Carvana. So first off, just some background. We called this support level at about $6, about $7, and I had made a video months ago talking about Carvana's potential for a massive short squeeze, which obviously we've gotten over the past couple months. I also called out this $20 break in resistance. Thought it would cause a larger move higher. We got that, and now I'm making another call on this stock. So we just moved past resistance at about $42, which is where shares had actually bottomed in the past. It's also where shares had topped out in July. It's where shares had topped out in September of 2022. So this is definitely a significant level of resistance for the stock. We had actually topped out on August 11th, 14th, 22nd, 23rd, and 25th, right around this resistance level at $42. Love to see the move above this resistance level. Definitely implies that we could see a larger move higher for Carvana. So where are shares headed from here? So I would really say it's very logical that we could see a quick move back up to resistance at around $58, which is where shares had topped out in the past. So this is where shares had topped out back on July 20th and 19th. So we topped out at this level in the past. We also topped out at this level in August on the 15th in 2022. So this is a major level of resistance for the stock. I think we likely see a continuation higher up to this resistance level at around $58. And I've actually called out this top even before it happened. So I do have a pretty good track record of calling Carvana's price movements. You can check my past videos. And also one point I want to make here is volumes actually topped out once we came up to test this resistance level, and they've actually been moving lower ever since. So as prices have dropped over the past month or so, we've seen volume slump off as well. And for those that don't know, when you see a price decline coinciding with a volume drop, that signals that price trend is likely to reverse. And that reversal is usually signaled by a jump in volume as well. So what happened over the past 2 days? Well, we had shares move higher, and we also saw a spike in volume. So now that we're seeing shares move higher, we're seeing a spike in volume. We saw a move over this resistance level. You add it all up, I do think it's very likely that shares likely move up to $58 over the coming weeks for Carvana. That's just kind of what the chart is telling us. And then also, if we take a look at some of the seasonality trends for the stock, so this screen here shows me which months is best for the stock in terms of price performance, which months are worse for the stock. So we can see here that August shares do typically rise 5.7%. So August is a bullish month for the stock, but it is worth noting that we are moving into the two worst months for Carvana in its history, September and October. In September, shares do typically decline 12% on average. In October, shares decline 15% on average. So only 5 years of pricing data here, so not the end-all be-all, but it is worth noting that we are moving into a seasonally bearish trend. But with that being said, you heard my price prediction. I think this stock moves higher, barring any massive sell-off. Let's talk about short interest. So 52% of the float is sold short. Half of the float is sold short, which is nothing to sneeze at, and definitely does imply that there is a good amount of short interest in the stock. There's a good amount of short sellers in the stock. And also you can kind of see that this stock is at a high likelihood of a short squeeze just based on the ranking from Fintel. So Fintel ranks out 4,500 stocks, pretty much every stock in the market, and gives it a grade based on its likelihood of a short squeeze. We have a 200, so this stock is ranked at 232nd, most likely to have a short squeeze. So ranked obviously very high in this rating, right? 232 definitely tells you that this stock has a high likelihood of having a short squeeze, and that is basically in the top 5% of stocks measured by Fintel. So definitely a stock that has a high likelihood of a short squeeze according to Fintel. And then we can see that the short borrow fee rate, though, is only about 2%, which is actually just right on par. The higher this number is, it usually does signal that we could see a short squeeze for a stock. So nothing too shocking there for Carvana. And then we can see that their failure to deliver numbers have honestly not been super high over the past couple months. We obviously saw that massive spike in May, but really haven't seen any major jumps in failure to deliver for the stock, which obviously would imply, that shares could, see a larger short squeeze over the coming weeks. And then, given all of that, let's just take a super quick look at who the top owners are of this stock. So what shareholders own this stock? So we can see here that, a lot of insiders here, but Morgan Stanley is a large holder. Or excuse me, let me just sort by shares here. Yeah, Morgan Stanley, a large holder. The Vanguard Group is a large holder. They actually bought more over the past quarter. We can see that State Street's a large holder. They were slight buyers as well. BlackRock was actually a seller over the past quarter, which is somewhat notable. And then we see Citadel actually has a put position in on the stock. Millennium Management increased their holdings by 12%. D.E. Shaw, which actually is a very notable activist investor, increased their shares by a ton, 6,400%. So they basically added 3 million plus shares. So with that being said, that was a lot of information about Carvana. I do think that we likely continue higher over the coming weeks for this stock. That's what the chart's telling us, and that is what their own CEO is telling us. So that is awesome to see. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I will end it there. If you got some value from this video, please leave a like. We post company breakdowns and important market moving news on this channel on a daily basis, so make sure you are subscribed. If you would like to receive my daily portfolio moves, my exits, my entries, and see how me and my team of analysts are trading the markets, join the Discord through the link in the description below to get our free 7-day trial. Also, if you would like to join our free daily newsletter, sign up to our Substack, which is linked below as well. With that being said, good luck everyone. Happy trading, happy investing.